Today on Combustion Chamber, we have one of the most unique second-gen Trans Ams I've ever seen. This beautiful custom Meltdown Trans Am. Let's get after it. Welcome back to Combustion Chamber. What does classic Star Trek, Buckaroo Banzai, and a second-gen Trans Am have in common? They're all part of this beautiful custom, painted, not wrapped, Meltdown Trans Am. Let's talk to the owner, Bill Moran, for more. Bill, thank you very much for being on the show today. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. The reason I got this Trans Am is all my life I've had ones that I never did anything with. And what I found was a blue, which you're seeing here, used to be baby blue, and it's an 80 rear end, 78 front end. I had it in the garage for about 10 years. And then my wife is always saying, do something with it, do something with it. Well, I never did. So then I wound up having a stroke. And after the stroke and everything cleared up, my wife looked at me and said, build your damn car.
This is not a wrap, it's painted.
100% paint.
Now, you have to explain that to a lot of people, I imagine.
Everybody. And number one question is, it's a wrap. Is it a wrap? Where'd you get a wrap done? It's not a wrap, it's 100% paint. It was done by a woman named Yulia out of Palm Coast. She's fantastic. She's a sweetheart of a woman. I found her online by looking for someone that could actually do rivets, and she did a fantastic job on rivets. There have been several times that I didn't think that what she had done was paint. She'd send me an email, especially the bird on the hood. And I said to her, I don't want vinyl. And she goes, that's not vinyl. And I'm like, oh my God, because it's, looking at the email, you're kind of assuming it's so well done, it's vinyl. Nah, she's fantastic. Best I'd ever seen. And I got her just for rivets, and she did everything else beautifully.
What led to the radiation theme of this Trans Am?
Well, I got the idea to put this theme together when I was a kid. When I was about 10 years old, there was the gas crisis in the early 70s, where you couldn't get gas for cars. So I jokingly said to my parents one time, well, why don't they just, make a car that's run on nuclear power and no one has to worry about gas anymore? Well, my parents thought it was funny, but it always stuck in my head.
Sadly, this is not nuclear powered.
No.
What is it powered by?
It's a 400 cubic inch Pontiac 6.6 engine, has an Edelbrock intake and a Holly carburetor, 4-barrel obviously. And it's got Hedman headers, Flowmaster dual exhaust, and quad tips.
Now there's a ton of references throughout this car's paint job. Can you tell us about some of those?
She had the idea of putting something up here similar to a fighter jet. And she wanted me to come up with an idea of something that I liked. Well, I came up with Star Trek. I've always enjoyed Star Trek. And so I had to come up with something that was Star Trek based, but not over the top, not where someone would look at it and say, geez.
The Star Trek reference is fantastic, but there's another movie reference on this car. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, there is. The other reference is right over here on the side is a Buckaroo Banzai symbol.
Do you have any official sponsorship from Yo-Yo-Dan?
No, I don't, but I am asking.
Well, how about we get this car on the road?
Okay, great.
So what was it like to live through the fuel crisis? Because that's something my generation has no concept.
Yeah, I know. And it's just high gas prices, that's it. But back then, the cars were lined up around the block, and a lot of people in line would run out of gas as they were waiting to get gas. So people would have to help each other out and push each other's cars into the gas station to get gas. My folks were fortunate enough to have one car with an odd plate and one car with an even plate. We lived in New York, and that was the days you could go, odd and even days.
Driving the Meltdown Trans Am was fantastic, and we want to thank Bill for bringing the car out today for us. Also, I'm a huge movie buff, so to see Star Trek and Buckaroo Banzai represented on this car I think is fantastic. And I highly recommend the movie Buckaroo Banzai. It's a really good 80s cult classic. What do you think of this Trans Am? Do you own a Trans Am? If so, let us know in the comment section below. And if you like this episode, give it a thumbs up, share with your friends, and for more Combustion Chamber, hit that subscribe button. We hope you enjoyed that episode of Combustion Chamber. We want to keep this show independent and about you, so if you want to hit us up on our Patreon, we would greatly appreciate that. Also, links to our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter pages are below. And remember, it's not John Big Booty, it's John Big Booty.